The Catholic, Sri G. Thompson, Chief Secretary Kerala, Mrs. Thompson, His Beatitude Metropolitan Vicar, Father Thomas, Principal of the Seminary, Father Jacob Kurian, former retired Principal of the Seminary, Father John Abraham Knott, His Grace Matthews Mar Servinius Metropolitan, His Grace Thomas Mar Athanasius, Mr. Babu Sebastian, Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi University, other enlightened audience, my friends in media, ladies and gentlemen, Ellavarkum and Namaskar. I am profoundly happy to be here with you to participate as guest of honor at the concluding ceremony of the bicentenary celebrations of the Orthodox Theological Seminary at Kottayam. At the very outset, I would offer my pronouns to the illustrious fathers of this holy seminary who have contributed towards building up this 200-year-old institution to grace and glory it enjoys today. I would also express my deep sense of gratitude to the organizers for having given me this rare opportunity to share your pride, joy, and jubilation. The seminary, as you all know, has historical relevance and significance, which is a lot informative as well as inspiring. It was Gauri Lakshmi Bai, the then ruler of Travancore, who granted land free of cost and tax to Pullikotil Joseph Ramban, later Malankara Metropolitan Joseph Mar Dionysius Pullikotil, to build a seminary for the Syrians. Interestingly, seminary means Padithu Veedu or Paditha Veedu, or a house where one can learn. Subsequently, her sister Gauri Parvati Bai granted a sum of over 20,000 rupees as well as the needed timber of the building for the building construction. It has to be mentioned that the British resident Colonel Munro was the mediator for the royal grant. The foundation was laid in February 1813 and the structure of Naluketu was made available for clergy training in 1850. Soon it became the earliest English education center in Travancore. It also became the location for the first printing press, the first center for the study of foreign languages, and the first coordinating center of public education in the state of Kerala. If Kerala enjoys pride of place among the other states in several spheres such as literacy, education, healthcare, social service, and communal harmony, the credit should go to the early Christian missionaries. They took upon themselves the task of promoting, propagating literacy and started elementary schools almost across the state. Stopping for a moment, after assuming office of the governor in September 2014, in February 2015, I had the opportunity to participate in the Governor's Conference convened by the Honorable President. In that meeting, when my turn comes, I boldly represented, I raised my voice to the August gathering in which all the governors, Prime Minister and his cabinet colleagues were present in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. I said, sir, I am proud to represent Kerala because it stands first in literacy and maintains communal harmony. For that, I gave the statistics, the population of this state, religion-wise, community-wise. In spite of it, this state is the only state maintains high literacy and communal harmony. Actually, after my speech, during the tea time, many governors came and inquired more about this secret. Subsequently, then coming to our today's function, subsequently these centers became temples of teaching and learning that were initiated by the missionaries with a profound sense of devotion and dedication. The English scholar missionaries collaborated with local Christian church to provide education to the young people and train the ministerial candidates at the seminary. There were classes in English language, coaching for civil service aspirants, and instruction in some of the important languages including Latin, Syrian and Sanskrit. The book entitled A Century of English Education in Travancore 1917 states that the earliest school in the state where English was regularly taught was that started in the Syrian college or seminary at Kotai. The seminary or old seminary as it is called became the nerve center of chain of vernacular schools that were started to obey the royal exhortations to promote vernacular language, vernacular education since 1868. With the emergence of these schools, the seminary concentrated more on clergy education and continued to be headquarters of the Malankara Church, known today as the Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church. It has been recorded in the authentic book, A Century of English Education in Travancore 1917, that the earliest school in the state where English was regularly taught was started in the Syrian college or seminary at Kotai. The institution presently runs residential study programs in degree course for Bachelor in Divinity, post-graduation course for Master of Theology, and research for Doctor of Theology. It also engages 200 scholars from India and abroad in the seminary, while 25 professor guides mentor and train the scholars in theology and divinity studies. It merits mention in this context that considering contributions of the old seminary to the larger community over the past 200 years, the Honorable President of India has released a commemorative postal stamp on 21st April 2015. The Indian Postal Department has brought out a colorful brochure on the occasion of the release of this stamp. As a matter of fact, the seminary has several firsts its credit, which I do not intend to enumerate since this learned gathering is quite in the know of such glorious achievements. However, let me mention again that the first printing press was installed here so as to promote and propagate English education in the state. Now you are celebrating the 200th anniversary of this glorious institution. All I want to remind you is that this is a golden occasion for all of you to look back to the past with legitimate pride and look forward to specific schemes of action for much more glorious future. I wholeheartedly wish you Godspeed and complete success in your earnest endeavors to serve God and man with a renewed sense of total application. എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ആശംസകൾ. നന്ദി. ജയ്.
Thank you, sir. Your gracious presence has enhanced the niceness of today's ceremony. Thank you so much for the comfortable message.